Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 72 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of weekly gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about Marvel Future Revolution, what happens when you can combine CSGO, Apex Legends, and Overwatch, Fortnite may be dying, some more, and Destiny 2 says goodbye to loot boxes. We also have all the gaming deals across all the platforms for you. I am Deft Puppies. Join me, as always, is your boy, Grey Aussie Gamer. Dude, how are ya?
What's happening?
What's
I'm
happening?
Good. Another day, mate. Another day. Late one today, though.
Yeah. Sorry. Trains ran late. Things happen.
Totally fine. It just gave me more time to play Final Fantasy VII.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's consumed me since it came out yesterday.
Yeah, because that kind of dropped out of nowhere, didn't it? It was just like, oh, hi, here's a demo. Go nuts.
It was just a little, it's just a stealth drop. There you go. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed the way they did it. Annoyed a lot of people overseas though, because they're like, I'm just going to bed. Like, do you have to do this to me right now? So.
It was like in the evening for us, wasn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, it was 7 o'clock.
7, yeah. By the time I realized it was out, because my kids were asleep and my PlayStation is in their room at the moment, so I was like, oh no, I was gonna try and get some in before the podcast and try it out, but I'll have to do it later in the week.
Yeah. So I think you will actually enjoy it because it's got a bit of a Devil May Cry-esque theme to it. It's nowhere near as polished as that is in combat wise, because it's not supposed to be. It's not aiming for that, but the combos feel good to pull off. There's some weight to the hits, which I didn't expect.
Right. Because is it still turn based, or is it a kind of a combination of both? Talk me through your experience. Let's go. Let's get this out of the way now. Let's get this in the first hour of the podcast.
Let's get in. Yeah. All right. Let's deep dive into this. So, for those who don't know, and there were a few people that I've spoken to today on Twitter and stuff that haven't actually played the original Final Fantasy VII for many reasons. It's an old game now. The old game was turn-based combat. Pretty much, it made turn-based combat really effective, especially in a 3D world with 3D polygon avatars and whatnot, and it was really well done. But they obviously had to work out a way to modernize the hell out of it, because turn-based systems for the fidelity that they're trying to pull off for how good this game looks just would not work. It wouldn't fit. It'd just be really odd to play. So what they've done is they've kind of managed to still have turn-based in there. You can, if you want, you can pause the combat and go full turn-based if you want to. It'll be very slow, and I think it's only in the easy mode. I don't think it's even in the other modes, just because of I think how long it would take you to beat the game. Holy Christ, you would be there for a very long time. So how the combat works is it is ATB, which is active time battle, system. So you got your ATB bars, which are your two little bars in the demo below your health. The idea is that when you attack, you like push square, you would do your flashy attacks, your combos and whatnot. Your ATB will build up. Once it gets up, you get one bar full. You can do, special attacks, use different abilities or magic per se. That was about as far as it let you go in the demo. It didn't branch out at all. It was pretty well locked to handful of abilities, your combos, some magic, some fire magic, thunder magic, and a cure. That was it. So it was pretty simple.
Oh, it's just fairly basic. Like, I'm assuming it would, like, later on in game build up to, like, something like an ultimate attack and different variants of combos and stuff like that.
Yeah, so there was limit breaks in there, which are, a returning thing from Final Fantasy VII, from the original, sorry. They were very cool, very well done. Just the combat, it feels really good to get in. It's a bit there's a little bit of jarring there, like as in they give you an evade button and a block button, so you can block or evade, which is obviously very new. But I think what they're trying to do there is, in the original, you could miss attacks, and enemies could miss attacks on you depending on how high your stats are. I think maybe that's what they're trying to bring in. That's that modernized, I guess, instead of something shooting a missile at you and it misses, per se. But it feels a little weird trying to get that in your head to dodge as well as attack and whatnot. But then you can pause the combat or you slow it down. It slows down to a bit of a crawl. You can select what you want to do, speeds back up again.
Okay, right. So it's like
Yeah, you can flick between your characters. So you only had Barrett and Cloud were the only two playable characters, really. And even just with those two characters, it gives this really awesome way to how you're gonna how they might be able to build the parties out, because Cloud only has a knife, a sword, a knife, big knife.
That's a giant fucking knife, dude.
Yeah. So obviously he can't hit flying targets, and they make a point of this in the demo. So Barrett has obviously a Gatling gun attached as an arm, and he can hit the flying targets. Yeah. So that was never an issue, really in the original.
Okay, right.
Especially with some of their attacks. So yeah, it's cool that they're bringing that and making that a main part of it, like how your party is going to be built out, is to how it plays. And I think it's just the 3 characters you can have. Again, demo only had 2 characters you could play as. But oh man, holy shit, it looks good too.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I saw some. I've seen some cutscenes and stuff kicking about. It looked pretty fucking smooth. It was sexy.
Square, they're one of the best at blending that CGI back into real-time gameplay seamlessly. And yeah, that intro got me so just the music was perfect. It's so good. The second you hear it, you're transported back to when this came out, 1997, I think.
Yeah.
But it's been given a bit of a more modern uplift. So it's still very faithful to the original.
They just touched it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's the theme there. It looks like they're nailing across the entire game. Faithful to the original, but just bringing it up to a new modern standard and adding a lot more in. And I enjoyed that combat so much. As someone who has played the original game, once every year, I generally play it.
Yeah.
So that's man, I put nearly 1,000.
Well, now you can play the new version once every year.
Yeah. Well,
maybe.
Yeah, we'll see. But that's episodic fucking thing.
Yeah. So what's the? I mean, we've covered this a little bit here and there. So they're releasing the one game in different chunks, right? How many episodes are they doing again?
I don't think they've ever confirmed how many they are doing. I think that's smart that they haven't, because I guarantee you what they're probably going to do is they're obviously waiting for this release, seeing how people react once they complete this game, because you're only getting as far as Midgar. So that's it. This whole game takes place in that one city, and that's that I don't know how they're going to do it, how they're going to balance it. How are you going to get different environments out of that one place? Is it going to feel all weird and whatnot? And then what happens when... I don't want to spoil anything because we're going to the new game. I don't know who has not played it.
Yeah.
But what happens, when we ride and we get to that bridge section, the chase, and we're there, what happens? Is it going to... you see out of Midgar, you see everything that you've got to go do next in the main game. That was it. You were gone. You were off into the main part of the world, the open world area. How is that going to resonate with players? Especially
getting cut off right at that point.
Old school players that have played who love the original, and then that's it, stopped. you got to wait another 2-3 years. Who knows how long
Yeah,
before the
because
next
yeah,
one
they
comes
haven't
out.
they're doing this one. Like we don't know when the next one's quite coming out. Apparently, it's supposed to be like a heap more detail. Though, right? They're doing like a lot more in
Oh,
Midgar.
heaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've read that it's 100 hour plus.
Jesus
Yeah, and
Christ, what do they add?
so you're looking. That's some serious hours in a game. So
It
I can't
is
see how anyone could be disappointed in that.
because it's
They
60 or
are,
60 US a pop, isn't it too?
yeah, it's
For
full
each
retail
episode,
price. It's
full retail
full. Yeah.
price. Yeah.
So I had this conversation with someone before. I think the issue that they're struggling with right now, and that a lot of people are struggling with, is the word episodic. I think they
Yeah.
kind of butchered it by coming out with that name, saying that it is in episodes. I think that was the worst terminology they could have used. I think people need to understand that it is a full game, but you're just not getting the full story yet. So you're going to get a huge expansion to your original, your original memories of the game. For retail price, for full retail price, 100 hours. I think they can do it. It's still it is going to be annoying.
Yeah.
Part of it will be annoying, but more so, I think, for the older players, the people who have played the originals, just because you know what's to come, and judging by how good they've nailed that first part, if the rest of the game is anything like that, this thing is going to sweep some awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to get into the
100%.
demo and give it a look. This week I'll make that my little side project. I'll get it downloaded on the PlayStation. And wait, is it out on Steam as well, or is it just on the station for the demo?
No, it's PlayStation exclusive for a year.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I'll have to break out the PlayStation and get it downloaded and have a look in my
definitely go
spare time.
Go have a try. Like,
I'll be going in as someone who's never played any of the series at all, so it'll be interesting.
See, now this is where I think you will have a better time, because to you, the game will be a very full, fat experience. You'll be done. I think they will have. Obviously, I know how the story, and a lot of people know how the story is going to go. But Midgar section, even in the old game, has a very definitive start, middle, and end to that sequence.
Okay, right.
When the game obviously starts, there's a midway point in the game, and it has a full stop when you leave Midgar. So for you, if that's what they follow, that same beat, which they are, it should feel pretty good.
It should feel like
and it's just going to leave you, wanting more. Like, say you just beat The Witcher 3, it's like, and it left on a cliffhanger. You'd be like, fuck.
Yeah,
and I want to see the next one. I want to see the next one. And it's coming, but it's coming for years. But I want it now. And the issue for me is, I'll get to Midgar,
and you'll know what's coming.
Are you fucking serious, man? I want to see how they do. How they're going to pull off Knights of the Round, the Emerald weapons, Golden Saucer, all of this shit. It's going to be awesome. So we're going to have two different,
which would be good. I think that'll make for some interesting conversation pieces later on. Especially if once I get through the demo at least, and then when I might even look at getting it when the full release comes out, and for research, for science, if you will.
I think a lot of people are just they are struggling with the whole episode thing. If it comes out and delivers in gameplay, story, length, you're getting a good amount of content there. I don't think they're going to have an issue. But if it doesn't, and it kind of leaves you really lacking, like you've just felt like it was missing a bit, I would not be surprised if they just put the whole rest of the game for the next one. Like, just take their time extra, get it finished, rather than split the game up again, because they can. The story beat wise, there are places where they can definitively end it each time. Yeah, it makes sense story wise, but
see what happens. Be interesting to watch.
On. I can't. Yeah. I want. It's not long to go. A few weeks to go.
And
and I love it right at the end. It's, would you like to purchase? I was like, I couldn't fucking hit that X button any harder on my controller. I was like, fucking buy. Get this thing right now. Download it. Like, get it ready.
Shut up and give me my copy.
I am in, and they show, obviously they tease a bit at the end for what's to come. And it's going to be, I can't wait to see how they do some certain bits in it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Been up to anything else this week?
It was, actually. I was.
What's that?
Yeah. Done a few. I did some gaming this week.
You did some gaming?
It was good.
Fucking nice.
I did. I just did a big ass video on Resident Evil 3, so I just went back through to the remake, obviously, that came out last year. Just did another Leon run just to kind of get myself ready for 3, and kind of controls ready, know what you're going, because it is out extremely soon. So ended up putting together a big preview because a heap of footage came out and a heap of hands-on stuff came with that, and new video and screenshots and all the rest of it. And it turns out we're getting a demo as well. I feel like we're back in. Are we back?
Demos are amazing, aren't they? And they're actually calling them demos, right? Not.
I know.
It's a beta and you've got to pre-order. They're fucking demos. Here you go. Go play the game. See what you think. It's nice, man. I like being back in this kind of. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check my a cereal box right now, some Weet-Bix, and just see if there's a demo disc down the bottom of it. Maybe a copy of Age of Empires.
Yes. Age of Empires 4 comes out, like, special edition, comes in a fucking cereal box. I would love that. Just like you ordered some special edition, it's like fucking Weet-Bix.
Yeah.
You open it up, and inside, like, the packaging's all like, nah, fuck it, it can just actually be cereal.
Just cereal, yeah.
But they charge you. They still charge you $140 for the special edition.
Imagine.
I know, right?
Imagine. So with the Resident Evil playthrough, got the video out and got in touch with Capcom, who are going to be kind enough to send me a review code of Resident Evil 3 very soon. So that is good.
Champions. Good on them.
Thank you, Capcom. So yeah, I should definitely have a review up on the embargo. Hopefully,
providing your copy gets there in time.
Yeah, get it done in time.
Yeah.
But dude, did you play Resident Evil 2? You never did.
No, I have not. I haven't played Resident Evil or Final Fantasy. You have to remember, I've only just got my first PlayStation like 3 months ago.
Yeah, but these haven't been PlayStation associated in years.
Yeah, but by the time they weren't, I'd forgotten about them,
Oh man, do yourself a flavor. Go back.
It's on my backlog. I'll get there eventually.
You've got a big backlog.
I do, man. I do. I have so much, and there's so much coming out this year too.
Right.
And Doom and Ori and Cyberpunk, and oh man, it's too much. I don't have time for this shit.
Resident Evil 2 is a fantastic game. So for anyone who has not played it, go pick it up before 3 comes out. I believe the demo is still. They still have a demo for 2 up.
Oh, do they?
Yes, so you can try that. And get yourself ready for 3 because 3 was my favorite. So I'm
down for
Nemesis. Just bring it on. It's going to be a whole. It's going to be a whole thing taking that bastard down again in good graphics. It's going to be interesting.
It's crispy FPS, high fidelity images.
And that's about. I think that's all I've been managed to play. I'm just waiting on Ori. That's out next week. I can't wait for that game.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to get that as well. Yeah.
So bring that one on as well. What about yourself, dude? What have you been playing?
Me, I played games too. I played new games. Most importantly, a new game. Because
tell me.
I've been playing a little bit of Apex. For the shits, it's an easy game to pick up, play around, whatever. It's fine. And then yesterday, I jumped onto the PC Game Pass, and there's this really cool feature they have where it's like a surprise me button, and you click on the surprise me button, and it brings you up a random game out of the collection to play.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that, and I downloaded this little game called Sea Salt. So it's like a 16-bit top-down, almost dungeon crawler-esque kind of thing. You kind of move through rooms, kill all the enemies, move through the next room, do a few of those, do a boss fight kind of thing. But the way it works is you're summoned by some evil force of your church that you worship to go out into the world and wreak havoc, essentially. And
sounds like your game.
Right. And so it's like, go forth, take these minions with you, and basically you start controlling this army of like swarms of like bugs and crabs and stuff. You start off right, and you can get all these different, as you progress through the game, you can unlock different creatures that you can control. And throughout the levels, there are different points. If you either kill enough people and collect enough gold, or you find there's like a little spawn spot where you can summon more creatures to your army, and you go, and each few levels you get new cards which have new creatures that you can summon. So you start off with a basic swarm, and you lead them around the map with this magic portal. It's so you're overviewing the map. And they follow it around, and then you can command them to attack, and they'll just branch off to the nearest enemies.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, and you get there's a swarm, and there's a weird slug thing that if it dies, it explodes into lots of little slugs that are faster. There's crabs, which was interesting. And then you've got apostates too, which are a ranged character, so they shoot magic spells at people from a distance. So you've got different enemy types there as well. I think I played the first hour or so, and I was just starting to see a variety in the way the mechanics, the way the enemies work. So there was one that had an AoE slam attack, and once he did that, he was vulnerable for a few seconds. So you'd have to kind of zip them all in and attack when he was vulnerable, and then disperse them so they didn't get damaged, because they get damaged and die, and if you lose all your creatures, you failed the level and you've got to start again.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun. It wasn't a difficult game. I cruised through most of it. I think I died once, which is moderately unusual for me.
It's very unusual. So did you finish it? Is it done?
No, I've still got more to go. I played for an hour, and I saw 3 boss fights at that stage.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not a huge game, but it was fun.
Explain the mechanic of how you chose the game again. It's on the Xbox Game Pass.
On Xbox PC Game Pass. I'm not sure if this is on the one on Xbox, on the Xbox itself, but on the PC Game Pass, you can go to the games, your Game Pass selection, and you scroll down a little bit, and there's a button with a D20 die on it that says "Surprise Me." And you click on it, and it suggests a random game.
So it can be any game.
It can be any game that is on the Game Pass. And quite often, you click through, I've played that one. But you'll always find, within 2 or 3 clicks, you'll always find one that you haven't. I always seem to find one that I haven't played so far, and it's really, really cool. So I'm gonna start doing that more often. Just going on and going bam, because most of them are smaller games. If it's a bigger game, you take a bit of time. You generally know about it anyway. But these small indie games, Gears 5 pops up. It's fuck, that's 6 weeks to download.
For me, yeah.
Yeah, so someone with your internet, it could be an issue because you've got to download the game. For me, it took 20 minutes to get the game downloaded and set up, and I just played around with Apex while I waited. Just did a few things.
That's not happening up this neck of the woods, mate. I'm telling you.
No, you can't do that. But yeah, no,
Zero chance.
It's a really cool little thing on the Game Pass that I think's really. I'm gonna start doing it more. I'm gonna try and do it at least once a week. I'm gonna do a surprise me button once a week and see what I come up with for a while. But yeah, Seasalt.
Did you get
very good game. No, that was about it really.
Apex. How's Apex again?
Apex is alright. It's still fine. I'm playing on PC now, so it's a little different. Mostly
better or worse.
Fine. It's different because I'm still adjusting to mouse and keyboard too.
Okay, yeah.
But I've got a good PC. It plays really well. Load times aren't not like waiting for matches isn't too bad. It's usually only a couple of minutes at worst rather. So there's a decent population still playing it. They've got some event going on next week. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's just been something I've been able to play. And just play a round or two and then go fuck off because my time is kind of minimal at the moment, and I really want to finish Gears and get into The Last of Us, and I've got Uncharted series there, but they're the games that require time to sit down and like really get involved with it, and I don't want to like go play 20 minutes going I've got to get off now and go do shit. So I'm just trying to find the time to play, to give those games the time that they require to be enjoyed properly.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where I'm at with gaming this week. Been good.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Should we move on to deals? We just something.
I think so.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
We have written some things down there.
We have things. The things have been written, and we shall now read them for you. So over on PlayStation this week, for PlayStation Plus, we have Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. PSN deals this week, we have Days Gone for $39.95 and Anthem for $17.95. Over on the big plays. I mean, I think you can get Anthem for about half that price in other places.
Probably. But the convenience of just being able to download it there for $17, I think that game is very worth it.
Oh yeah, the story's decent. Like you get your hours out of that easily.
Yeah.
On Xbox this week, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 for $50 and Borderlands 3 for $50. It wasn't a great deal on there. There's lots of like expansions in their deals this week, and like extra like download DLC content stuff, which is always weird when they do that. But sure, those two games are definitely good. You got to spare $50. I mean, Red Dead's definitely worth the 50. Borderlands 3 you've played, haven't you, Gray?
Yeah, no, I'd definitely go the 50 on that. They got the new expansion for Borderlands 3 coming out soonish.
Yeah, they've had one. They're on to their second, aren't they?
No, I don't know. No, yes, I think they have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, it's another one, and it doesn't look too bad. So.
Over on our games with gold this week, not entirely weird. We have Batman: The Enemy Within, the complete season. So that's that's 5 episodes, I believe. And Castlevania: Lords of Shadow 2, which is an Xbox 360 title. Those are there till mid-month, about the 16th, I believe. On the Switch, we have Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition. It's going for $21. It's usually about $30. That's ending on the... That's already ended.
Is it?
Yeah.
First of the third. Oh, maybe it has ended. That's my
Never
fault.
mind. But we have Resident Evil. So I'm assuming that's the first one for $20.
The HD remake.
The HD remake. There you go. It's usually $40. So that's half price, which is pretty fucking good.
Especially on the Switch. You don't get many deals on the Switch.
Yeah, the Switch is always expensive. God damn you, Nintendo, why you do this to us? On the Epic Store this week, we have Inner Space, which I think we had
last week. It was last week's one as well.
Yeah, they had like 3 last week though.
Yeah, so this one's still on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's it for the deals and freebies this week. On to the news, I guess. We got a little bit there. Apparently, Gray's better at research than I am because I could not find shit today. I was struggling hard. So the first one, Marvel Future Revolution. Marvel and Netmarble have announced Marvel Future Revolution, an open world RPG for mobile. Why does this sound like Raid Shadow Legends already?
You can download that for free.
You can download for free with my code.
Right.
Announced at PAX East, the game comes to developers of Marvel Future Fight, which will also see players play as part of the original Omega Flight superhero team. According to a press release, players will work together to battle an onslaught of supervillains, confront their suspicious behaviors, and defend the universe. Confirmed playable heroes include Captain America, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange. And the open world will merge various Marvel locations, including Xanderth and Sakaar. Cool.
Did you see the?
I haven't seen anything about this. Talk to me about it.
It actually looked really good to the point where I didn't think it was a fucking mobile game. Like when I first saw this, I was like, are we just getting like a random new Marvel RPG announced out of the blue? And then no, yeah, like you go into it and no, this is a mobile game, but the gameplay they haven't showed gameplay, but they've shown in-engine footage. It's very impressive
for a mobile game. I mean, look at the way mobile games are going though. Like, there's like, they look a lot better than they did like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's right. It's just the control scheme on mobiles are always terrible, but open world, an RPG, if this is a turn-based something, like, you know, if there's something there for it, this could be actually half decent.
Yeah, it might be alright. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out, especially with the way most mobiles go with the monetization side of things.
That's pretty much the main downside.
Yeah,
it's that they're just gonna rape and pillage everything out of that, and that universe there is so ripe for it. You could do everything there with new skins.
I mean, you throw Spider-Man in anything, and it's automatically a success. It's one of the hottest fucking things going.
Yeah. So, well, I'm not too sure when this is actually releasing. I think it's got a little whiles to go yet, but. There you go. New Marvel game on your phone.
Sweet. So next one off the match is we're going to be talking about Valorant. Am I saying that right? I don't know.
Valorant.
Valorant?
Valorant.
Valorant. Get mad at me on Twitter. Let's go. Fight me on the internet. So Riot Games, this is a new one for them. They're obviously known for League of Legends, which is a thing they've done and only done for quite some time. That we were talking about earlier. I think we covered a month or two ago. They were kind of branching out to do several different games.
That's when we first heard about them doing an FPS.
Yeah. So this is one of those brainchilds coming from Riot. So Valorant, or however you say it, is best described as a combination of Counter-Strike, Global Offensive, and hero shooters like Apex Legends or Overwatch. Every match will be played on a single map in a search and destroy game mode. In every round, players will be able to buy their weapons and gear. Most important, their abilities. Abilities are not given. You have to make a choice each round. Do I buy a weapon or an ability, or do I save that money, what I have left, to buy everything next round? So each round you're going in fresh, you're going to buy new gear, new stuff. So which means you can obviously change up your play style between each match, which is interesting. With this in mind, it's important to note that abilities will carry... abilities! There you go. I should read the whole thing before I do this. Abilities will carry over to the next round if you do not use them. Weapons will only carry over when you manage to stay alive for the round, just like CSGO. Okay. Interesting.
The screenshots, everything that they've shown off, the little teasers and that, it does look pretty interesting.
Is it that stain? It's
got a cool art style to it.
I was gonna say, is it similar to like the League of Legends art style, or is it very different?
I would say it is more leaning towards Overwatch art style.
Okay.
But a bit more brutal. Like, it's not as cartoony as the Overwatch is, but
that's kind of a little bit grittier.
Yeah, it's kind of like...
I see. Sorry, I just did a quick Google then. I see exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. So it does look cool. They haven't really shown a great deal of it yet. They're kind of just teasing the hell out of this, and
it really does look like Overwatch across CSGO, doesn't it?
Yeah. But a lot of people are catching on to this. Like, their Twitter thing is like blown up to a couple of 100,000 followers as of today, and they only just recently started it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Dang. So a lot of big streamers are pretty keen on something like this. I mean, you put CS:GO, Apex Legends, and Overwatch. If you can combine those 3 games
And do it
and
well.
make it entertaining to watch, that has massive potential on Australia, and that's what these guys are. That's what these guys want. Right games. That's what they're chasing. They want the next.
They want the next esports hit. Yeah.
Yeah. They want the next one. Not even. It doesn't even have to, I guess, be esports. Even though it could be, but they want that. They want that streaming. They want that Twitch streams. Everyone to be watching it.
They want that sweet
Talking
Amazon
about it.
money. That's what they want.
Sweet Amazon.
Sweet
baby.
Amazon money.
But
Cool.
no release date. Nothing ever like that yet.
So
but
most of it's just been concept art releases and a concept of what they're doing basically so far. Is that all we've
I
got?
think they're a bit closer to that.
Okay, right.
They're more closer towards showing something, I think.
Maybe we'll see something like towards E3 time. Around
I
there.
think that that's what I'm guessing is we're going to see something more around a conference.
Yeah.
Expect these
definitely.
guys maybe at Devolver Digital or something at E3 on the stage.
Cool. On to our next one. Fortnite is slowly and forever dying. Apparently. So it's still there. Epic Games and industry analysts Superdata are squaring off after a report claimed that Fortnite's earnings had dropped to their lowest level since 2017. It began with when Superdata, who were the analysts in this situation, put out a monthly games industry earnings report for January 2020. The report placed Fortnite as the seventh highest earner on console, but outside of the top 10 on PC and mobile, and summed up the game's performance by saying the game's earnings continued their gradual decline and hit their lowest level since November 2017. Speaking to GamesIndustry.biz, an Epic spokesperson subsequently called Superdata's reports wildly inaccurate, although they didn't go as far as to point out specifically at this latest one. So here's a quote. Superdata does not have, or has not, wait, hang on. I can read, I promise. I swear to God.
You'll get it.
I'll get
Work
there.
through it.
It's been a day. Superdata does not and has not ever had access to Epic's Fortnite revenue data, and Superdata's reports do not accurately reflect Fortnite's performance. We're disappointed that Superdata has repeatedly published wildly inaccurate reports about Fortnite based on what we believe is questionable methodology.
They're pretty brutal about it.
Yeah, like this is harsh, man. While we do not and have not publicly shared revenue numbers for Fortnite, we will say that Superdata's reports do not align with reality. That is what you're fucking lying, mate. That's PR speak for shut the fuck up. You're lying, man. It's all bullshit.
What it is. They went to town on him.
Yeah.
Which I've got no idea. I've never heard of Superdata before or whatnot, but
I've seen them come up in like a few reports and stuff before.
yeah, I definitely know they are around, and they're generally quite accurate with what they've got.
Yeah, they're usually.
But
Yeah,
according to Epic, they're
wrong.
they can
man.
go and get
wrong.
screwed on their account. I don't know. When you look at it, it feels like Fortnite to me. It feels like it's not in the same space it was a year ago.
No, God, no. It's definitely settled
doesn't
down
feel-
a lot.
It doesn't feel as big as what it was a year ago. It's still, don't get me wrong, it is still freaky huge. Generally, always in the top 5 on any streaming service you can find. Generally, it's always in the top search videos for YouTube. So it's constantly up there, but it does feel like it is very much tapering off.
Yeah, I think it's starting to hit that cycle in its life where it's getting to that kind of Dota stage, right?
Yeah,
Dota and League of Legends, where it's still kind of it's there and it's still big and huge and it's like its communities are massive, but it's not making the leaps and bounds that it was a couple of years ago, a year ago, you know. Like, because for a while there, they were just like next big thing after next big thing. And now I think they're just it's just starting to settle and kind of taper out now. And it'll kind of plateau for a while before we...
Yeah, well, they just had a new season launch. Like, holy shit, man. Whenever they used to drop a new season, it's all you would hear. It didn't matter where you looked.
Yeah.
Anything game related was just talking about the new season, what's coming in Fortnite. And they just had one recently, very recently, and it's been quite quiet, subdued, as it were.
Yeah,
is it
definitely.
the end of Fortnite? Fuck no. That game's going to be around forever. You're never going to get rid of Fortnite. It's here to stay. I think as it gets more mature now, I think it's going to transition a hell of a lot to pro games, like more into esports. Like, and I think that's going to bring, like, still keep a very solid crowd there, because I don't know about you, but have you seen how skilled some of these people are that play this game now?
It's insane. Like, just watching like just everyday players, I'm like, how is this fucking possible? How do your fingers move that fucking fast? Like,
it's like you see those streamers like Ninja or any of them, and they've got their cam facing down at their keyboard, and it is it's like, have you got motion blur on that? Because I can't fucking see what you're doing. Like, you're smashing all these buttons, no idea what's going on. I think that's the way it's going to go, because a lot of people, like, if you compared season 1 Fortnite, which we all played, I mean, everyone played. You go back and look at a clip from season 1 to now, like, fundamentally the game has changed a little bit, it's obviously, but it's still
the base game's still there.
The base game is still the same, the same thing. But you look at the skill gap, man. The difference in the skill is huge. But you try and jump in there now as a new player. Back then, you could probably get away with winning. You might get a few wins.
Yeah,
you're going to get absolutely shat on now.
Like, you go to put up like a little
all day.
I'll go to put up a wall, and someone's built a fucking 4-story mansion with a pool.
Easily.
Yeah, easily. It's like, hey, it's whatever, you know.
And a boat shed.
And they're inviting you over for a fucking barbecue.
Yeah. So I think that's where the game's transitioning to, as more people want to watch those really good players to either learn how to do what they do, or just to be entertained by what they do. I mean, I still watch some Fortnite YouTubers and that, just because I don't play the game anymore, but it's still funny as hell to watch them. So
yeah, fair enough.
It is entertaining.
All right, on to the next story. Let's see if I can get through this without tripping over my fucking tongue. Destiny 2's saying goodbye to loot boxes. So the upcoming season for Destiny 2, which is season 10, we'll be seeing Bungie remove the paid loot boxes, or what are they called? The bright engrams? Bright engrams from the Eververse. Director Luke Smith announced in a lengthy director's cut blog post on Wednesday that Bungie is removing the ability for players to purchase bright engrams, which are the paid loot boxes. Sorry, I'm reading this backwards too. Bright engram can be purchased in the Eververse store using silver, an in-game currency, which then can be purchased with real money. So that's how it works. You buy your silver, you buy your engram from the store, but it's a kind of a random thing of what you're getting. So he said for season 10, we'll be doing away with bright engrams as purchasable items. We want the players to know what something costs before they buy it. Bright engrams don't live up to that principle, so we will be no longer selling them on the Eververse store, though they still will appear on the free track season pass. So you're still going to be getting them in game, but you're only earning them in game
for free.
And anything you purchase from the Eververse, which is their microtransaction store, will be a direct purchase, which is good. It's about time.
I'm surprised they got away with it for so long.
Yeah. I mean,
the reason they got away with it is because they were always tweaking it a little bit and trying to make it sound not as
predatory,
disingenuous, as what they actually were. And they weren't called loot boxes, by the way. They got away pretty well from being called bright engrams. But and also because you'd get, yeah, was it at first every vendor refresh you would get your first 4 levels or
You got like
something
a
like
you
that.
got like a boost,
You
and you
got a
get like an
bunch of them
extra
when
one.
you,
Yeah.
yeah. So maybe that's how they kind of got under the radar a little bit with their loot boxes. I'm trying to see going. But we can talk about season 10. What do you know about
We
it?
can. All I know is that Trials is coming back. That's all I've heard.
Trials.
They did that
coming back.
they did that big Fractaline thing to announce season 10 and Trials.
Now, do you know any more about? I know a little bit about this, but not, I don't think enough. Do you know what was this? What the hell did Bungie try and get people to do? Now, this was a big community effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. So basically what happened is one idle Tuesday afternoon or something, I don't know when, appearing in the PvP section of the directory, there was like an ominous kind of round circle with 7 little lines in a circle. There was a circle around it in 7 different sections, because we all know Bungie love fucking sevens. And then there was you had to. I'm not well versed on this either, but there was like an event where you had to donate what was called Fractaline, which you could collect in world in the game from doing various activities, or killing enemies, I think. But it was something like the first stage was like 1 million Fractaline, and the second stage was like, or was it billion? I can't remember.
1 million doesn't sound like much.
No, it might have been 1 billion for the first stage. Okay. And so what was happening was people had to go out into the world, collect this Fractaline, and you could use it to buy, I think it was weapon rolls or something. Or you could use it to buy weapons to get through and get some decent god rolls, or you could put it into this deposit. And so yeah, they had these massive goals for the community to reach, and each stage, like, stage 7, they'd announce the next goal then. So you didn't know exactly what was coming. I think it was like, do you remember what the final number was for the Fractaline count?
I think it was like the 9 billion.
Yeah, so it's like you got to get like,
yeah,
it was like 9,777,000 or something.
Yeah.
It was some crazy number, and like I think the community did in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, they did it. They smashed it. And what is it? It ended up building.
Yeah, it ended up building the lighthouse essentially, and that's when they went, bam! Trials is coming back next season, which is cool. Although I wonder if Bungie was just totally fucking trolling everybody and they weren't actually counting it. Could you imagine? They're just like, yeah, we'll just like slowly go up to this date, and then we'll just announce Trials in season 10. Could you imagine?
They must have been tracking it though.
They would have had to have been, yeah. I mean, they've tracked stuff like that in the past for community events.
But still, I like Bungie doing these things. It's cool. Gets everyone kind of involved, even though it's something silly. It doesn't have a major payoff. But the trials reveal. What did you think? Did you see it?
No, I didn't. But I mean, I'm not.
They didn't show much. It's not.
They didn't show much. It was like was like a video. Just I think that has some trials gear and thing. Yeah,
it's the same fucking gear from D1.
Yeah, they're bringing back legacy gear because that's what everyone wants, man. They want new stuff, but they want the old stuff first.
It literally, the Trials looks exactly the same as it did.
But that's what people want.
But why not bring this back fucking 3 years ago when they released Destiny 2?
Because they've been balancing it to go, oh, we need to release the same thing again.
Balancing it with what? You're getting the same weapons, the same armor. You're playing on some of the old same map. And it's still 3 versus 3. We had 3 versus 3 in D2 vanilla. I don't.
No one liked it.
I don't. I know. What's the difference? The difference is you're calling this one Trials, and you're giving everyone the same loot that they got.
It's also back to being called Trials of Osiris as well, even though Saint 14 is commentating it. Figure that one out. Is he? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I could be wrong, but I know he's involved. because he's now a vendor in the tower at the moment. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, it's just, man. Bungie, I'm still getting the feeling that Bungie are kind of lost at the moment with Destiny. They don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
Obviously,
well,
they got
I mean,
plans for Destiny 3,
look
but
at their community feedback, right? I mean, and like the Destiny community is fucking amazing, but they're very confused. Like,
they are.
they tell you that you see this outrage, like we want this, this, and this. It's like, okay, so Bungie gives it to them. It's like, no, we didn't want this. We want it back the old way. It's like, well, you need to.
Odd,
I mean, there are thousands upon thousands of people that are asking for various things, and there's always going to be a divide. But it just seems to switch so rapidly. It's dizzying to watch.
Could you imagine being like Damage or DMG or anything like that? Cosmo, their community managers trying to wade through all of that shit.
I know,
No,
right? Just
screw that.
You guys can keep your jobs. I'm fine.
I want to be excited that Trials is coming back, but I'm not for some weird reason. I'm just not. I'm not feeling it at all. And I love Trials and I love Destiny PvP, but this is just.
Yeah, see, I was never a huge fan of Trials. I'd done it a few times. I went to the Lighthouse once in D1.
So I don't think a lot of people weren't, but because it was being missing in D2, a lot of people think they're big fans of Trials. When fucking half of them, more than half, have probably never even seen the Lighthouse.
Yeah, true. What I'm interested in seeing is how they're going to manage this with PC, because I know PC has been pretty rampant with hackers lately. Like, I was watching a video tonight on Twitter, and the guy had a sniper rifle that was firing like a fucking SMG.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're getting pretty heavy with the ban hammer now, and they're looking at that seriously. But I mean, there's a lot of.
Didn't they enable power level? Power level's been enabled for Trials.
Power level's enabled for Trials. Yeah.
Alright, so that's going to eliminate a good chunk of.
Will it though? I mean, it's not that hard to grind up power level though. They're disabling the artifact, so it's going to be the base power level. Because that was a thing people were concerned about. It's like, well, because when they announced it originally, they were like, well, what about the artifact? If light level is enabled, people that like grind the shit out of it are just going to cakewalk everybody. Being like 30, 40 levels above everybody else. And then they came out and said, no, artifacts will be disabled for Trials.
Yeah, but think about even having power enabled on that, even without the artifact, that will stop it'll stop a little bit of hackers, because even if they get banned, you're not going to use your main account. You're going to be using a sub account, and you're not going to level up and grind a sub account all the way up just to use a hack.
You'd be surprised. Yeah, but it will deter a few people. I think they're going to have some kind of. I think they're going to have a short quest as well to unlock Trials. I think I saw talk of that. I could be wrong, but I remember mentioning, like, I think maybe it was like a community feedback. It's just like a small, like even just a small mission, because even like going through and having to do that will deter people, like from getting banned and immediately going back. But it'll be interesting because I know, like I said, PC's been pretty riddled with hackers and cheaters for a while. I mean, they've done their best, but it's the same with any other game. The more you squash, the more they'll kind of pop up.
Yeah. It's a shame, but don't they? They don't have any. I'm not too sure. I'm not even getting into it, but hopefully it goes
well. Hopefully they bring some fresh goodness into Trials, and like for those players that were on D1. I mean, there'll be that nostalgia hit, but give a few fresh mechanics to make it feel a little different, because
they got to do something there.
I'm just waiting for the Vault of Glass to come back.
Saying, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's some legacy content that I can get behind.
Right.
Bring that shit back. Now I just want Pine Sky. I want this season shit to go with Destiny. Just fuck it off. Get rid of it. Bring back your big meaty content drops. and let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I don't know. It just feels like because it's so sprinkle fed and drip fed in, it's not enough there to stop me playing another game to come back into it. You know,
Yeah,
it's not
that's
like
fair.
season 10's coming out. Oh, I'm not going to skip. You know, I might skip Final Fantasy 7 and Resident Evil and Ori and you know all this.
Yeah, there are
to go
so
play
many
that.
good
It's
games
not
coming
gonna
out too.
It's
like,
not going to happen. But if they were releasing another big expansion or whatnot, you know, in a few months, which
the
would make
big
sense.
story expansion and raids and all that
then-
kind of stuff. Yeah, that'd make me pick up the game again.
I would be
I haven't
straight
picked up
back
the last
into
couple
it.
of seasons.
See,
I was
that's
like,
what I mean.
it's
I think
kinda,
a lot of people are in that boat.
yeah.
I think. Come on, Destiny, bring it back.
Yes. Speaking
Or
of,
just announce 3.
or just announced 3. Speaking of 3, while we're there, we got a trailer and a gameplay release for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes, we did.
Yes,
And
we did.
holy did that.
Did you watch what have you seen?
I watched maybe 30 minutes of it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I was about to say I kind of skipped through and got an idea, but fuck, it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It looks
so
really
clean, man.
good. So clean. And it was
It's
like every time they had a conversation, every time there was a conversation point, there was like 6 fucking dialogue choices. It's like
That's
a
what
proper.
These guys are RPG kings.
Yes, it's gonna be like proper. Like this is gonna have that real Dungeons and Dragons feel. The combat's cool too. I like the way they were doing that.
Turn-based.
The turn-based stuff. Looked really good. Played kind of similar to like XCOM and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a cross of like Diablo and XCOM and whatnot. You throw them all in there, and it is a good mix though. It does, and it looks really good.
That fucking cutscene, dude, like that with the ship. Oh my god! Oh my god! I was there. That with the worm when he like goes into the eyes, like it's so fucking good.
If you're listening to this now, listen to us talk about this now. Just when you finished here, go and check it out. Just
watch the trailer. It's only a couple of minutes.
Just the cinematic. Yeah. It is well done.
It is beautiful. If the rest of the game is like that, I'm fucking sold. Hey.
And spoiler alert, they are, because if you've played 1 and 2, they are. They're real good, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think there was a release date yet, though, was there? I know it's this
Not
year.
yet.
It's this year sometime.
It's this year. I think it might be a holiday this year, but they haven't. Well, I don't think we've seen an official one yet.
Yeah. Man,
so hopefully we see something soon.
This will blow up Steam.
Yeah, definitely. This will be a tough one to beat coming out this year. Especially obviously in the RPG world, but I think just in general. I reckon even it'd be. I know Cyberpunk's a different game, but it'd be interesting to see how these two bout it out.
I don't think. No, I think you're gonna. They're two very different games.
They are very, like I said, they're very different, but they both could be very big games. And if Baldur's Gate has as much content as what it seems it's gonna have, that's a chunk of time you're gonna just have to spend playing that.
It's only on. Is it on PC only? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I think it's PC only, especially with the way the fighting works. It definitely would be only PC.
What would be interesting is to see when Diablo 4 releases.
True.
Because I think
that's
those
not going to
two
be till like
games
next year at earliest. I don't think though.
Much more closer.
Yeah.
In aesthetic and style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it'd be good. The other thing we saw this week, just a cheeky little thing, was we saw some gameplay for Half-Life Alyx. Some combat.
Just watched I just watched the 10-minute trailer of before we kick this off, and my vibe is like behind me there, tucked away, and it's getting ready.
I'm gonna get a VR kit. It's my next purchase. I was
diving in.
It's that instead of a console this year. I think get the VR kit and hook myself into the virtual world. But
Going virtual.
Going virtual, but it looked like it's hard to tell because it's VR. But it looked really responsive.
No. It's easy to tell trust me, as someone who has either played a heap or tried it, has played a heap of VR games, got sick in VR games, has felt fine in VR games. This is the VR game. It is looking.
This is it.
This is it. This looks.
I mean,
really
when has a
good.
Half-Life game been half-assed though? Like, it's like they're always really good fucking games.
Oh yeah, never. But
Yeah.
it's like that's also Valve are pretty good at what they do, and I mean they've got their own VR. So if anyone knows the tech, it's these guys. And when you have a game like this that's been purpose built for that tech, it's not made. You can't play with a controller. You can't play a mouse and keyboard. It's not shoehorned in and tried to let's stuff VR into this, which is like what so many other games companies try to do. Valve has just got all the cash and all the time. They're like, let's put our greatest awesome new tech with our awesome IP that we fucking owe fans for. And let's piss them all off and stick it on there where they can't play with them. Not Half-Life 3. We'll run with that route, but it looks.
It does.
What's
really cool about what I saw about the gameplay is you could so the mechanic is for the most part moving is kind of aim and click to jump to a location. There's some free movement in there as well. I think you can kind of chop and change between the two. Like you can slow walk through or you can click and move.
So the setting is so you can either do locomotion movement.
Yeah.
But that is the movement that makes a lot of people sick. I can't do that movement at all. It gives me a headache. I need to take the damn goggles off immediately. Some other people can do it. So the other one is what you said. It's the teleport, which is phenomenally better. It is so much better for me. It is anyway.
Yeah. What was cool about the teleport was it's integrated into the gameplay, so you can teleport behind an enemy, turn around and shoot them in the back of the head. There's no time between you jumping, so it's like an instantaneous thing. So you just swing around, boof. I don't know. I just thought that was really fucking cool. It made for some interesting plays. But yeah, no, it looks it looks really fucking good too.
What threw me? What was the most surprising for me about those trailers that they've released is how physics based a lot of it is.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is going to make
they were throwing everything
really real. It's like, he's picking up lids, and rummaging through, pulling out rubbish out of trash cans.
But actually foraging for stuff. Yeah.
And he picks up the bucket and sticks it on the robot's head, classic Skyrim meme.
Yeah.
It looks, and the one where the animation of them, they're searching the locker. I don't know, they're looking for something. And you can see the player's hands. It's just their hands literally cut off.
Yeah, just floating hands. Yeah.
There's no arm. They open the locker, but they've obviously had something's going to fall out. And it does fall out. And you can either let it fall to the ground or you can catch it.
Yeah.
It's what are they? How really cool. And it looks super smooth. It's not janky. It's not nothing to it. It is just really, really good, which I think why this could be a very big game.
Yeah, this is going to do
obviously
a lot for
very
VR
big
games.
game for VR.
Yeah.
And actually, it's come up I've kind of put it off. I haven't been thinking about it a lot, and then this gameplay come out. I was like, when's it come out? It's the 24th. 24th of March or something. I was like,
it's not far out.
That's perfect timing. It's right in between Ori and Resident Evil. So sign me up.
Amazing. Love it.
Hopefully I don't get sick with it though. I mean, you can't.
I mean, if you've got the two modes to switch between those, so it might be not as bad.
Yeah.
One thing I forgot to mention. Sorry, I want to jump back to Baldur's Gate because I just remembered. You can kill enemies with your shoes. I watched a guy. He threw his boot and it killed an enemy. I was like, that is the fucking greatest thing ever.
It is a good.
Just to fucking totally side rail that conversation. I had to remember it because it was fucking funny. But yeah, no, it looks really good.
I will definitely have impressions from that game.
Because I don't know if I'll be able to get a VR kit that quickly. Because the VR fucking kits are expensive. But we'll get there
Yeah, they're not
eventually.
something you just randomly run out
Just
and
go out to Coles and grab a VR kit.
yeah, just gonna grab some milk and some bread and some VR kit. Love, I'll be back in a minute.
Back in a minute.
Tell the kids I'll be home soon.
20 years later.
Yeah. Well, it's the longest packet of cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Lasted forever. Alright, with that, speaking of dipping out for a pack of smokes and milk,
yeah, that's
we'll
it.
I think we'll leave the episode
See
there
you.
for this week.
That's it. Let's go to the shop.
Yeah. Let's go to the shops. Gray, where can they find you?
You most certainly can find me over on YouTube at Grey Aussie Gamer. Head over there, check out. I've got reviews, previews, funny videos, all types of stuff over there. The channel is growing quite well, actually. So, and Twitter as well, at Grey Aussie Gamer. Come say hi.
You can
Puppies.
find me on Twitter, Instagram, and here on Mixer. Deft_puppies with a Z. Because there's no other thing. If you'd like to find the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at left_pod. We are here live streaming on mixer.com/deft_puppies weekly-ish on Tuesdays. Solid time to be confirmed. Hopefully by next week. I promise.
Will be confirmed by next week.
We'll be
We're not
confirmed
doing
by
this
next
midnight
week.
stuff.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of midnight recordings lately and it's killing us. But my days off should sort out soon. If you haven't already, join our Discord. Links will be in description for you all. And come and talk games with us, you know. Give us your impressions on these new games coming out, these demos that are being played. Come and talk to us about it. But thank you very much for listening. You have been wonderful guests. We have been moderately okay hosts. Enjoy your week. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Catch you later.